Okay, so today what we're going to be going over is dividing mixed numbers. So there's two possible sets of notes that you're going to need to look back at, right? On 11/6, last week on Monday, we went over dividing fractions. And remember I told you these notes we would use for all of our dividing fractions. And then I was breaking them up into smaller units. So I want to review this really quick, and you should have this in your notebook. So when we are dividing fractions, the very first thing we have to look for is to see if we have any mixed numbers that we need to change to improper fractions. Okay? When you're multiplying and when you're dividing, you have to change all mixed numbers to improper fractions first. Then, once you change all your mixed numbers to improper fractions, if you have them, you're going to keep the first fraction the same, switch the division sign to multiplication, and flip the second fraction over. Okay, so that's where our keep, switch, flip comes from. Then, once you keep, switch, flip, you will multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators, and then your final step with multiplying and dividing is always to look to see if you have any improper fractions that you need to change to mixed numbers. And remember, if you forgot how to change mixed numbers to improper fractions or improper fractions to mixed numbers, you have notes on 1026 that you can look at. So if you do not still have these notes, I'm going to give you a few seconds to take a screenshot with your camera of this page. That way you can refer back to this. And remember, with these videos, you can always pause them if you need more time. Okay, so then the other set of notes that you're going to need from 1026 are our improper fraction to mixed numbers and mixed numbers to improper fractions. So first, we discussed what a mixed number was, and these are your notes back from 1026. So again, if you don't have these, you might want to take a screenshot. So a mixed number is where you have a whole number and a fraction, such as 2 3/4. An improper fraction is where the numerator, your top number, is bigger than the denominator. Okay, so then we went over changing mixed numbers to improper fractions. So the first thing you're going to do is multiply the denominator by the whole number, then add the numerator, and your denominator stays the same. And then all the examples we've done with this, I've always shown you this annotation. So you start at the denominator, go counterclockwise till you get your numerator. So we're going to multiply and then add, and denominator stays the same. So again, if you don't have those notes, you might want to take a screenshot of that. Then we went over improper to mix. So again, if you do not have these notes, you might want to take a screenshot of this so you have these examples. So to change an improper fraction to a mixed number, this is the opposite that we did before. So we're going to divide the numerator by the denominator. This will give you your whole number and your numerator, and your denominator stays the same. Okay, so here is where I kind of annotated a division problem. So if we had 14 thirds, you would take 14, divide it by 3. 3 goes into 14 4 times with 2 left over. So that 4 becomes your whole number. The numerator is the remainder. So it ends up being 4 2/3. So please make sure you have both of those notes. Your notes from 1026 and then your notes from 11/6. So then what we're going to look at today is the last thing with our fractions and dividing, right? So in your notebook today, these are the notes you need to write. At the end, you're going to take a picture of them and submit them to the Canvas assignment titled Class Notes for 11-13. So dividing mixed numbers. Again, we're following these steps. Change all mixed numbers to improper fractions. Keep, switch, flip. Multiply numerators. Multiply denominators. change improper fractions to mixed numbers. And I would strongly encourage that you use a calculator to help you with this. So we're just going to do 3 examples. So if I had the fractions 10 and 1/2 that I am dividing by 9 and 2/6. Okay, so 10 and 1/2 divided by 9 and 2/6. So going back to your notes, we first have to change these to improper fractions. So remember, start with your denominator, work all the way around. So we're multiplying and adding. Okay? Then you're going to do the same thing with the second one. Starting with your denominator, you're going to multiply and add. Okay, so we're going to end up with 2 new fractions. We'll have one being divided by another. So, to work on my first one, I would take 2 times 10 plus 1 to get 21 over 2. Okay, 2 times 10 plus 1 gives me 21. Then for my second one, you would take 6 times 9 plus 2. So 6 times 9 plus 2 gives me 56, and my denominator stays the same. Okay. Now, we have to go through the keep, switch, flip. Keep, switch, flip. So, we are going to keep the first fraction the same, switch the sign, and flip the second fraction. So we end up with 21/2 times 6/56 because we keep, switch, flip. Then this is where you are definitely going to want a calculator, okay? So we are going to take 21 times 6 to get 126. Then we will take 2 times 56 and get 112. So this is where we end up with an improper fraction. And if you do not remember how to change improper fractions to mixed numbers, that's our notes on 1026. So we're going to work out a division problem. So you're going to take your numerator, 126, divide it by your denominator of 112. And remember, we can use a calculator to help us with this. So if I take 126 and divide it by 112, it goes in only one time. 1 times 112 is 112. And then I can use my calculator for my subtraction. 126 minus 112 gives us 14. Okay, this is my whole number. This is my numerator. So my final answer for this problem would end up being 1 and 14, 112. And remember, we do not have to reduce our final answers. So we would get 1 and 14 over 112. Okay, so we're going to do 2 more. We had 8 and 6/8 being divided by 2 and 2/5. Okay, so remember, we first have to change these to improper fractions. Start with our denominator, work around, multiply add. So let's do that one first. So I'm going to take 8 times 8 and add 6. 8 times 8 plus 6 gives me 70 over 8. Okay, still division. So I need my second fraction. Start with my denominator, multiply, and add. So we're going to take 5 times 2 plus 2 to get 12. Denominator stays the same. Then we do our keep, switch, flip. Keep your first fraction. Switch the sign. Flip the second fraction. So we'd have 70 over 8 times 5 over 12. Again, calculator will be super helpful. So 70 times 5 would give us 350. 12 times 8 would give us 96. So we have an improper fraction. So I need to do a division problem. 350 divided by 96. And I'm going to use my calculator. 350 divided by 96, we're only looking at the whole number, so it goes in 3 times. And then we need to figure out what 3 times 96 was, and that gives you 288. So when we subtract 350 minus 288 gives us 62. So whole number and numerator. So your answer would end up being 3 and 62 96th. And again, you do not have to reduce. All right, final example for today. $14 and 8/9 divided by 2 and 3/4. So first we have to change all mixed numbers to improper fractions. So starting at our denominator, we're going to multiply and add. So I need to take 9 times 14 plus 8 to get 134. Denominator stays the same. Still division. Then, starting with my denominator, I need to multiply and add. So I'm going to take 4 times 2 plus 3. 4 times 2 plus 3 gives us 11. Denominator stays the same. So now all of our mixed numbers are improper fractions. And we need to keep, switch, flip. So keep your first fraction. Switch the sign. Flip the second fraction. And then again, use your calculator. So 134 times 4 gives us 536. 9 times 11 gives us 99. So then we have an improper fraction. We need to change it to a mixed number. So we're going to divide. 536 divided by 99. So again, use your calculator to guide you. 536 divided by 99 goes in 5 times. So I need to know what 5 times 99 was. 495. Then I'm going to do my subtraction problem. 536 minus 495 gives me a remainder of 41. So my answer would be 5 and 41/99. Okay, so what your assignments are for today. Okay, you have a class notes assignment. So you're going to take a picture of your notes and upload that. Then you are going to work on IXL M number 10. Then you have 2 Khan Academy assignments. If you finish all that, then there's a few things you can work on. Any missing work, your portfolio, or iReady MyPath. But Class Notes 11-13, IXL M10, and your 2 Khan Academy assignments are what you need to do today. So make sure you take a picture of those notes and then upload them to the assignment. Work on IXL M10 and do your 2 Khan Academy assignments.